Hello everybody, welcome to A Joyful Clay Tutor. Today we're going to be talking about how to make air dry clay coasters. Now this is a very simple project, simple air dry clay project, but it will teach you several different things. One, I'll show you the material that you're going to need to use. I will show you how to roll out clay to make it the same thickness, and I'll show you how to paint and seal your clay. Oh, let's get started. In this project, you're going to need your air dry clay. You're going to need a rolling pin. You're going to need a needle tool. You're going to need 2 pieces of wood that I use popsicle sticks, or these little pieces of wood are 1/4 of an inch thick. Popsicle sticks, I use 2 popsicle sticks. I use a rib or a credit card to make the clay smooth. You are going to need a piece of canvas to work on. I took a piece of canvas and I stapled it to a board. So this is a pottery canvas that you can buy on Amazon, 20 bucks for 5 feet. I just cut it down to size. You're going to need cookie cutters, or you can use a jar lid. You can use a jar lid, anything that will make a circle or a square. So we're learning how to make air dry clay coasters today. So not only are you going to need cookie cutters, but you will also need water and a sponge. Now if you're using Craftsmart clay or any type of clay, you might need to use a wire cutter. Okay, so first thing you want to do when you take your clay out of the package is you want to warm it up. Warm it up in your hands, warm it up on the table, roll it out. It's called kneading or wedging. In the clay world, it's called wedging. So you can take your clay on the thing and you can smash it down. Even out, and that's my bird in the background. So apologize if you hear my bird. So you want to have your clay. Most air dry clay, if you go any thinner than 1/4 of an inch thick, it tends to break. So I always like to have my clay at least 1/4 of an inch thick. Or I use 2 popsicle sticks. So I have a popsicle stick here and I put 2 of them together, and it'll make, 2 or 3 of them together will make about 1/4 of an inch. So rolling out clay is pretty simple, straightforward. Put it side by side. Take your clay, this is rules as a guide. It won't get any thinner than the board that you choose. In the rolling pin, and you're rolling on the board. So now smooth out. I'm going to take a cookie cutter. Make sure that it's clean. And I'm going to make a round cookie cutter. Now, take it out. Take your sponge, bring your sponge out, smooth it out. Such a simple project, but it's worth it. Now, if it's sticking to the table and I don't want to warp it, I'm going to use my rib, turn it over, and then you'll notice that it's got a little bit of a pattern on the back. So I take my sponge, kind of roll it out, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to kind of smooth it out. this way. And then I'm going to take my needle tool, and you want to always have a potter's mark. So use your initial, put your initial in your year that you made it. Smooth that out. So, take it, smooth it out. Make sure that it's the same thickness as your finger. See, the same thickness as my finger. Smooth it out. Now you want to put it on a board or another piece of canvas to dry. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put mine on a board. Take a board and put your clay on a board, and it'll help it dry out faster, smoother. You can use it later, and we'll let that sit, and we'll come back in about 24 hours and it should be dry. In this next section, we're going to be talking about how to prime, paint, and seal air dry clay. You want to prime your air dry clay with a product called gesso. You buy gesso at your art supply store in their paint section. What gesso does is it adds tooth to canvas and to wood and to ceramics. So what you want to do is just take your paintbrush and paint your gesso on your product. This is dry from the gesso. I am going to paint it with a little bit of acrylic paint. You don't want to glob stuff. You just want to nicely paint over. Now we let this dry, and after this is dry, I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray it with some water-based polyurethane. So I'm not going to do that on video, but the result is the same. I will show you what it looks like. Nice and shiny and sealed. So now you can put your drink on there and it won't soak through to your clay.